Welcome to section 4 of this course, and after that we will only have one section left, which is going to be about the broader, larger urban analytics project. So now we are picking up the last bits of knowledge which we will need to carry out that last project section. Namely, here in this section we will learn about a few different methodological tips and tricks. For instance, how to use the so-called basemaps, how to create more complex urban visualizations, what are map projections, or how to analyze road network data coming from OpenStreetMap. So let's get ready and dive in. Alright, so now we are moving on towards building our first urban analytics project. And for that, the first thing I'm going to show you is how to improve or enhance our visualizations by using so-called basemaps. So for that, I'm going to use the library called Contextily, which is usually used under the alias of CTX. And let's explore very quickly this library. So the way Contextily works is that it is linked to a bunch of basemap providers. These will be the background maps, and every provider has a few different maps which we can use and we can choose from. So first I will show you how to query the providers, and then I will show you how to specify the maps of these providers. So let's use the variable providers for this. And for provider, let's iterate over this list, and this is going to be a list. Sorry, a dictionary, maybe it's even a JSON, we can quickly check that. Oh no, it's a bunch. Okay, it's a bunch of providers. That's very creative. I haven't seen this before. So here we can see, for instance, that OpenStreetMap is included. And within that there are a bunch of different, well, a bunch, right? So many different variations, but OSM is not the only provider we can use. So let's see which providers we can use here. And they have OpenStreetMap, OpenSeaMap, topography map, or rail map. So there are a few OpenStreetMap derivatives here, and there are proprietary things like Mapbox, Esri here, or CartoDB, or even Wikimedia. So I recommend to test as many of these as you want, or just visit their websites and see which of these you like. Here I will show you just two examples. For instance, the maps from Esri. Here again we have this bunch of maps, but it's easier to read what it's called if we just iterate over this list. So we just print the map, and here you can see that, for instance, World Topo Map or Ocean Base Map or Not Geo World Map are available in the Esri package, and we can just do the same thing, for instance, for CartoDB. And here we can see that it has maps called Positron or Dark Matter no labels, or Dark Matter only labels. So the same thing with few different variations. And now how to do this, like how to do base maps in action. So first of all, we will need some data to visualize, and here I'm going to use the usual stuff. I will import OSMnx as OX, and I will visualize Budapest because we are already very much used to it. And I will combine a visualization which shows both District 5 from Budapest and the city itself. And I will show them on two neighboring subplots. So this is the first time that we are not using one but two images here, or figures, or axes. So that's also a historical milestone, but we just have to specify how many rows and how many columns we want to have. And then when we do the plot, then we just specify which of these axes should be used. So district comes on the left one, the first one, and city comes to the second one. Yeah, we also need to import Matplotlib pyplot as PLT and keep debugging. Okay, so subplots, yes, it's an S is missing here. Yeah, so here we are. We can even set this command I usually set. It's called tight layout. It reorganizes the picture a little bit. Okay, so that's the base plot that we want to improve. We can even switch off the axis here as well. I usually do it by iterating over the AX list of axes. So here now we have something much cleaner. Okay, so the next image I'm going to draw here, I'm going to combine these two. So now that we learned how to separate them, now we learn how to combine them. And I will use well, the city comes first, and I won't color it, but I will use an edge color of black with a line width of 1.5, while I will color District 5 in the center to be red with a certain opacity, so it's going to be pale, and then I copy this, and here I select color to be none, edge color to be red, same as before, and line width to be 2.5. So this way we will have some debugging to do. It's line width and E is missing, yeah. So also axis off. So what I did here, maybe I just switch off the city first and also the second one. So if I only do this line, then I will have this homogeneous polygon on the map. It has some transparency, but it doesn't show much. It's just a different shade of red. If I add this line, which doesn't have a filling color, and doesn't have opacity, because now I deleted it, but has a proper thick edge line, then it will give a red edge around it. Okay, so that's some visual trickstery for now. And if we add the background, which is not colored, then we will have this image there. So now it is the time to add the base map, and the way to do that is to use the add basemap function of Contextily, which will take the axis as an input, a variable called CRS, which for now let's just leave it as CRS, and in the next videos I will show you what that actually is and how we can work with that on the long term. And now we just use the previous comments, so CTX providers, Esri, and world topo map, for instance, and this way we will add an Esri basemap. This might take a little longer to render because it is querying the basemap from the cloud, but now here we are, here it is our first basemap.